There comes a moment in the life of every child of God, a moment when the appointed hour strikes, when what was hidden is revealed, when what was promised is made manifest. The night is such a moment. This night, not another, this night, April 27th, 2025, the Lord has declared, you will be rewarded. You thought heaven was silent. You thought the seeds you sowed had vanished into the soil. You thought the prayers you prayed were lost in the winds. But the God who sees in secret, he is not forgotten. He has remembered you. Every tear you shed in secret, every act of kindness when no one was watching, every step of faith taken when the world called you a fool, was not lost. It was written down. It was stored in the treasure chambers of heaven. And now the scroll is opening. The decree is being unsealed. The reward is being released. For there is an appointed time for everything under the heavens. And tonight, your appointed time has come. As we say, the enemy thought he could wear you down. The darkness thought it could cause you to give up. The valley tried to suffocate your dream. But it was in the valley that your roots grew deeper. It was in the darkness that your faith became stronger. It was in the waiting that your reward was prepared. The reward is not small. It is not ordinary. It is pressed down, shaken together, running over. It will spill into the lives of others. It will set captives free. It will glorify the name of the Lord. But you must rise. You must open your hands. You must stretch out your heart and say, here I am, Lord, I receive. Tonight, the seals are being broken. Tonight, the chains are falling away. Tonight, the heavens are moving for your sake. Not by your strength, not by your striving, but by the grace of the Almighty. God said you will be rewarded, and he will not lie. So step into it, rejoice in it, and walk as one who has been crowned with his goodness. For tonight, the reward is yours. There is one who sits upon the throne of eternity, whose eyes miss nothing, whose memory fails not, whose heart holds every moment of your journey. He is the God who remembers. When you wept in the silence of your room, when no one saw, when the world turned its face away, he saw. When you gave, though you had little, when you loved, though you were hurt, when you chose to believe, though all around you shouted doubt, he wrote it down. Nothing was forgotten. In the days when you labored and it seemed there was no fruit, in the nights when you prayed and the heavens seemed like brass, he was there listening. Every sacrifice, every act of obedience, every time you forgave when it cost you, every time you said yes to him when it would have been easier to say no, it was all recorded in the books of heaven. You thought the seeds had died in the ground, but he saw every seed planted and he counted it precious. You thought your voice had vanished into the winds, but your cries rose like incense before his throne. You thought your faithfulness went unnoticed, but it was precious in his sight, more precious than gold tested in fire. There are things you forgot you even did, prayers you forgot you even prayed, moments you thought were lost to time, but he remembers. He who never slumbers, who never sleeps, who counts the hairs on your head and the tears in your bottle, he has not forgotten. Even when you felt abandoned, even when you were tempted to believe the lie that he had turned away, he was closer than you knew. He was gathering every moment of your faithfulness, every act of righteousness, weaving them together into something beyond what you could see, storing them up for the appointed time. The God who remembers is the same yesterday, today, and forever. What he promised, he will fulfill. What was sown in secret will be rewarded in the open. What was done in faith will be crowned in victory. He has not forgotten you. He has not forsaken the labor of your hands. He has not overlooked the cries of your heart. He remembers. There is a mystery woven into the fabric of creation, a sacred pattern, an invisible calendar, written not by man, but by the hand of God. For everything under the heavens there is a season, a time appointed, a moment decreed before the foundations of the world were laid. Nothing happens by chance for those who walk with him. No prayer is spoken in vain, no step of obedience is wasted, no tear falls to the ground without being counted. Every act, every cry, every waiting breath is moving toward an appointed time. You are not created for endless wandering. You are not called to labor forever without harvest. The same God who ordained the seasons, who set the stars in their courses, who commands the seas to rise and fall, has set in motion the moments of your life. There is an appointed time for your breakthrough. There is an appointed time for your lifting up. There is an appointed time for the promises spoken over you to come to pass. It is delayed. It may feel like the heavens have been silent, but the silence is not denial. The waiting is not abandonment. It is preparation. The seed does not sprout the day it is sown. It waits beneath the earth, hidden from sight, but alive, destined for its moment. So it is with the promises over your life. They have been hidden for a time, growing in secret until the hour appointed by God. When the fullness of time had come, the Savior was born. Not a moment too early, not a moment too late. Heaven waited until the exact second, the perfect alignment of history and destiny, to send forth redemption into the world. If he waited for the fullness of time to send his Son, will he not also bring forth the answer to your prayers at the perfect moment? Will he not fulfill his word to you in the hour that has been set? The delays, the trials, the closed doors, they are not signs of defeat, but signs that the time is not yet. They are the guardians of the appointed hour, preserving it until you are ready, until the world around you is ready, until the moment when all things come together and the glory of God is revealed. The enemy may have told you that your time is past. The voices of doubt may have whispered that the promise was lost, but the clock of heaven has not stopped ticking. The hand of God has not been hindered. The appointed time draws near. The moment decreed in the secret counsels of the Almighty is rushing toward you even now, unstoppable, irresistible, inevitable. And when it comes, it will come with power. It will come as a flood. It will come as a sudden breaking forth. It will come as a new song rising from the ashes of your waiting. For what is written by the hand of God cannot be erased, and what is decreed by the King of Kings cannot be undone. Before every crown there is a cross. Before every victory there is a battle. Before every reward ordained by God there is a test. The path to the promise is not without fire. It is not without valleys. It is not without the pressing and the proving of the soul. For the reward is precious, and what is precious must be refined. You have walked through places where the night seemed endless, where the answers did not come, where your strength seemed to fail you. You have stood on the edge of giving up, tempted to surrender the dream, tempted to doubt the words spoken over your life. You have faced the silence of heaven and the scorn of men. These were not signs that the promise was dead. They were the fires that shaped you to carry it. The test is not for God to know who you are. He already knows. The test is for you to discover who you are in him. It is to reveal the faith that can stand when the winds howl. It is to forge a heart that will not bow to fear, a spirit that will not be broken by the storm. The test prepares you for what the blessing cannot teach you. It deepens your roots so that when the reward comes, it will not destroy you, but complete you. In the test, you are stripped of what cannot remain. Pride falls away. Fear is confronted. Flesh is crucified. It is in the test that the true gold is revealed. It is in the furnace that the dross is burned away. Without the test, the reward would be fragile. Without the breaking, the blessing would collapse under its own weight. Every hero of faith was tested. Abraham was tested with the offering of his son. Joseph was tested in the pit and in the prison before he wore the robe of rulership. David was tested in the caves and the wilderness before he sat on the throne. Even the Messiah, the Son of the living God, was led into the wilderness to be tested before he began his ministry. You have not been forgotten in your trial. You have been trusted with it. Heaven saw something in you that was worth refining. Heaven trusted you to walk through the fire and to come out not weaker, but stronger. The reward you seek is not just for your comfort. It is for your calling, and the test is the gateway through which you must pass to reach it. The greater the reward, the greater the test. The deeper the promise, the deeper the preparation. But know this, the test is not forever. The wilderness is not the end of your story. The pit is not your final dwelling. It is the place where your faith is made unshakable. It is the ground where your destiny is rooted. And when the test has run its course, when you have been proven and strengthened, the reward will not just meet you, it will overtake you. It will not be delayed 1 second beyond the appointed moment. The fire will give way to the crown, the night will give way to the dawn, the sorrow will give way to rejoicing. For after the test comes the reward. There comes a moment in every long night when the darkness reaches its deepest point. It is the hour when the shadows seem the thickest, when the silence feels the heaviest, when every sense within you cries out that the night will never end. It is the place where hope is tested, where faith is stretched to its limit, where every voice of fear and defeat seems to rise up in triumph. Yet it is there, at that very hour, that the breaking begins. The night does not reign forever. Darkness has an expiration date. Every shadow is only permitted to linger until the decree of heaven is given. And when that moment comes, when the appointed time strikes, the night must bow to the light. It has no choice. It must flee. It must shatter. It must yield to the rising of the dawn. You have endured a season where it seemed as if the darkness would never break. You have walked through places where every step forward felt like a battle, where prayers seemed unanswered, where dreams seemed delayed. But the darkness you faced was not a sign of defeat. It was the setting for the breakthrough. The enemy always rages the loudest just before his hold is broken. The night always seems the longest just before the first light of morning. The breaking of the darkness is not gentle. It is sudden. It is fierce. It is as if the hand of God himself reaches into the night and rends it apart. The chains that held you in fear are shattered. The walls that boxed you in crumble to dust. The heavy clouds of despair are ripped away by the breath of his Spirit. What seemed immovable falls. What seemed impossible begins to unfold before your very eyes. The breaking does not come by human effort. It is not by striving, not by human strength, not by your own wisdom. It comes by the decree of the Almighty. It comes when heaven says, enough. It comes when the word goes forth from the throne, and what stood against you cannot stand any longer. It is not only the darkness around you that breaks, it is the darkness within you, the fears you carried, the doubts you entertained, the wounds you hid. When the light of God breaks into your life, it touches every part of you. It restores what was lost. It heals what was broken. It revives what was dying. It awakens dreams you thought were buried beyond recovery. The sound of the breaking is the sound of freedom. It is the sound of chains falling. It is the sound of walls collapsing. It is the sound of the captives being set free, and with the breaking comes the opening, doors you could not force open, pathways you could not find, blessings you could not reach. They are revealed and given freely by the one who holds all power in his hands. The breaking of the darkness is not a defeat. It is the victory. It is the answer to the prayers you thought were forgotten. It is the fruit of the tears you cried when no one else saw. It is the vindication of your faith, the visible sign that your God reigns and that his promises are true. The darkness was permitted for a season, but it was never meant to be your end. It was only the backdrop against which the light of his glory would shine all the brighter. And now the time has come for the breaking to begin. The reward you have waited for, the blessing that is about to be released, the breakthrough that is even now at the door. It was never meant to end with you. The ways of God are never small, never confined to one life, one moment, one soul. When God blesses you, he is writing a story bigger than your own. When he rewards you, it is not just for your comfort, but for the salvation of many. Your victory is the seed of another's deliverance. Your breakthrough will become the bridge for others who are still trapped in their prisons. Your healing will be the testimony that breathes life into dry bones. Your provision will overflow to meet needs beyond your own house. The oil poured upon you is meant to flow, to anoint others, to spread, to ignite a fire that cannot be contained. You were not preserved through the storm just to live in safety. You were preserved to lead others out. You were not blessed in the secret place so you could hide away the treasure. You were blessed to reveal the glory of the one who answers prayer, who lifts up the lowly, who fulfills his promises beyond all expectation. Your reward is part of a greater purpose, part of a divine weaving that stretches far beyond what you can see. Others say, in the name of the Lord, and I become vitalid. You are an image. The blessing that is coming to you has been fashioned to carry others into their blessings. The doors that are opening for you are meant to become doorways for many. The miracles given to you will become the signs that awaken faith in those who have given up hope. You are a vessel, an instrument, a light set upon a hill, that others might see and know that the hand of the Lord is mighty to save. Your trials were not only about you, they were about preparing you to carry a greater weight of glory. They were about forming a testimony that would not only rescue you, but rescue generations. Your reward will be the spark that ignites the hearts of those around you, the evidence that encourages the weary, the breakthrough that becomes the prophecy of breakthroughs to come. When you step into the fulfillment, others will find strength. When you walk in the answered promise, others will find direction. When you live in the abundance, others will find the courage to believe again. You are not just the recipient of the blessing, you are the messenger of it, the bearer of it, the one appointed to show that what God has done for one, he can do for many. The blessing is coming, but it will not end with you. It will move through you like a river. It will pour through you like living waters, refreshing every dry and weary soul around you. It will call the lost home. It will lift the broken. It will awaken dreams thought dead. You have been prepared not just to receive, but to release. Not just to be filled, but to overflow. The reward was never meant to be hoarded. It was always meant to be multiplied. There are scrolls written before time began, scrolls that contain the mysteries of your life, the calling placed upon you, the destiny breathed into your spirit when you were yet in the secret place. They are not the writings of man, but the inscriptions of the Most High. And there comes a moment, ordained and unstoppable, when the scroll is opened. You have walked through seasons where the scroll remained sealed, where the pages of your destiny seemed hidden, where the words of promise were written but not yet revealed. You lived by faith, trusting in what was unseen, believing in what was spoken but not yet manifested. You endured when you did not understand. You pressed forward when the meaning was veiled. But the sealing was not a denial, it was preservation. It was protection. The scroll could only be opened at the appointed time, when all was ready, when you were ready. The opening of the scroll is the unveiling of what was always yours but not yet revealed. It is the moment when the mysteries that shaped your trials are made plain, when the reasons for waiting, the testing, the weeping are brought into the light. What was once confusion is seen as orchestration. What seemed like loss is unveiled as preparation for gain. The scroll contains the fulfillment of promises, the manifestation of prayers, the revealing of doors that had long been hidden. When the scroll is opened, it is not with the hand of man. No earthly power can break its seals. No earthly wisdom can hasten its unveiling. It is opened by the hand of God alone, by his decree, in his perfect timing. And when he opens it, no power of hell can shut it. No opposition can stop it. No enemy can reverse it. Within the scroll are the plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Within the scroll are the dreams you thought were forgotten, the promises you thought were lost, the assignments you were born to fulfill. The opening of the scroll marks the end of confusion and the beginning of clarity. It marks the shift from waiting to moving, from praying to possessing, from seeking to seeing. There are pages within the scroll that have not yet been turned, seasons that have not yet been entered, victories that have not yet been fought for and won. But when the scroll is opened, the journey begins anew with fresh vision, fresh power, and fresh favor. The words that were once hidden become alive in you. The dreams that were once distant begin to breathe and move through your life. The opening of the scroll means the setting in motion of everything that had been held in waiting. The acceleration of destiny, the collision of promises with reality. It is the moment when heaven's decree overtakes the delays of earth, when divine timing overtakes human expectation. The scroll was sealed only for a season, but the season of sealing is over. The Lion of the tribe of Judah has declared it. The seals are broken. The scroll is opening. Your destiny is being unveiled. What was once hidden is now being revealed. There comes a time when it is no longer the season to wait, no longer the hour to stand still. There comes a moment ordained by God when the call goes forth, the call to receive. It is not a call based on your striving, not a call dependent on your qualifications, not a call born of your worthiness. It is a call that flows from his grace, from his promise, from his love that never fails. He calls you now not merely to labor, but to gather, not merely to sow, but to reap, not merely to stand, but to move forward and take hold of that for which he has taken hold of you. The fields you have prayed over are ripe. The seeds you sowed in tears have borne fruit unseen. And now the voice of the Master is calling you to stretch out your hand, to open your heart, to step into the inheritance prepared for you before you ever knew how to ask for it. But to receive is not passive. It is an act of faith. It is a choice to believe that what God said is greater than what you see. It is the courage to open your heart wide even after the battles, even after the disappointments, even after the wounds. It is the humility to accept what you cannot earn, to walk into a blessing you could never manufacture, to say yes to a destiny that has been waiting for you to awaken to it. The call to receive is a holy call. It is a summons from the courts of heaven itself. It is the lifting of your head after a long night. It is the standing upright after seasons bowed in sorrow. It is the declaration that the story is not over, that the promises are alive, that the King remembers, and the time has come to enter into what has been made ready for you. This is not the time to hesitate at the threshold. This is not the time to shrink back in fear or doubt. The one who calls you to receive is the one who has made a way where there was none, the one who has already gone before you, who has already conquered the obstacles you could not overcome. The doors that once seemed closed are opening. The rivers that once towered above you are parting down by his hand. The call to receive is the call to believe again, to hope again, to stretch your faith further than you have before. It is the call to cast off the garments of mourning and clothe yourself with garments of praise. It is the invitation to come out of the wilderness leaning on your beloved, stepping into the place prepared for you with joy and thanksgiving. There is no striving left to do. There is only stepping forward. There is no more earning to chase after. There is only accepting the gift that has already been won by the blood, sealed by the Spirit, and written in the scrolls of heaven. Tonight the call goes forth to arise, to believe, to open your hands, your heart, your life, and to receive. So tonight, on this appointed night, remember this. The God who remembers you is the God who rewards you. The night is breaking, the test is ending, the scroll is opening, and the voice of heaven is calling you to receive, not because of your strength, but because of his mercy, not because of your worthiness, but because of his love. This is the hour where promises long hidden will be revealed. This is the night when chains are shattered, when doors are opened, when destinies are awakened. It is not by accident that you are here. It is not by chance that you hear these words. It has been written, it has been sealed, and now it is being fulfilled. Receive what has been prepared for you. Step into the blessing. Walk through the gates. Take hold of the inheritance. The Lord himself goes before you, and his reward is with him. Thank you for walking this journey of faith. Thank you for standing even when the winds raged against you. Thank you for believing when all seemed lost. Heaven has seen, heaven has recorded, and heaven now rewards. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you. May his reward overtake you tonight and in the days to come. Thank you, and may you walk in his victory.